Hello, my name is Marion Burke. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. My slow processing speed will always stay with me. Life is not all about plain sailing for me. Some people seem to glide through life without any storms, but that has never my path. My journey comes with challenges, setbacks, moments of self-doubt. But even in the hardest times, one thing has always stayed with me: determination and self-awareness. I might bend, but I don't break. I might fall, but I get up again. I have learned that progress is not about an easy life. It's about continuing. Small steps when the roads are rough. New beginnings. I recently done an interview Zoom meeting. I was successful in getting a job in healthcare with an agency, working in social care settings and nursing homes. I was proud and overjoyed. I know I had something to offer: compassion, patience, willingness to work hard. But I know the journey ahead would require effort, learning, and preparation. The agency sent me a long list of forms to complete. Fill out each form was endless. I'm the kind of person who can get easily overwhelmed by complicated languages and big fancy words. That familiar fear. I remind myself one page at a time. My younger brother is a pure blessing to me. He stands beside me. So one day he sat down beside me and helped me to fill out each form. His support was not meant a lot to me, not just because I needed it, but it reminded me that I was not alone. My Garda vetting forms. When came to the Garda vetting form online, focusing, confusing, navigating to fill out the numbers, but at the end we downloaded and filled out the form by hand and posted it. My sister Anne, with her years of working in healthcare and filling out the Garda vetting forms, she gave me great advice and reassurance. When I phoned the agency, they told me it would take up to about 6 weeks. Long felt, and I made the decision to use my time wisely. John showed me again how to use Google Maps and air codes, but this time I didn't want to rely totally on him for everything. I sat down with my laptop, pen and paper. I looked up every location where I would be working, and I wrote down each air code, each route and journey. I wanted to build my own confidence, not just on my Google Map skills. Then I began doing dummy runs and practice drives to each location. I planned them, carefully choosing the closest places first to save petrol and time. Lost for guidance. One afternoon, I drove down a quiet country road. The voice on the map suddenly said, "You have arrived at your destination." I felt that moment of panic, that kind that makes your chest tighten, but I forced myself to stay calm. I turned into a long entrance with a big house. I knocked, no answer. I returned to my car and I remind myself to stay calm. Problems find solutions. When I went to next entrance, I met a friendly man clearing leaves. I introduced myself. I explained that I would be joining an agency and doing dummy runs to find locations where I would be working. I felt that my deceased mother was guiding me. He smiled and said that I was at the right place. I drove down to the entrance and I knocked on the door. I met a friendly staff member and answered all my questions. I thanked her for her time. I took notes again of landmarks, signs, so I could find them easily the next time. Why do I keep going? I believe in educating myself through life, observing and learn. I take notes, pay attention, and I prepare. Writing has become my greatest joy in my life. Add thoughts and feelings on paper to escape into my own world. I write for my YouTube videos before I upload them. Writing helps me to understand myself and my journey. I really love reading. My favorite book is called Bob the Street Cat by James Bowen. A story of hope, second chances, and unexpected friendships. This book reminds me when life is messy, there is still light, hope, and something worth fighting for. Writing for me is like being in my own movie. Reality and hope. Children's stories end with a happily ever after, but in real life, it's not always like that. Real life is about taking steps, ongoing work, quiet achievements that you know in your heart. Real life is about persistence, growth, and courage. Setting out small goals that could lead to a sense of achievements, big or small. The journey is not about being perfect. It's about taking sometimes a rest, never giving up, picking up, and getting to know who you really are. Asking for help. Need to take notes. To keep learning. Keep believing in yourself. And keep practicing and saying that you are good enough when you think that the whole world is against you. Is to really, really believe in yourself. I will continue facing my challenges. I will fall, I will rise, and I will move forward. Please check out my other YouTube videos where I can share my journey. That we can come together and support and celebrate slow learners, people from all walks of life. They are not alone, we are together. It was a pure pleasure to share my story with you. Thank you and goodbye.